funny, man. That's awesome.
By the way, my guys up
I got 5.
That was a great joke. No. It's like an internet. I hit a ball today. Rougher pass. It wasn't even a penalty. You guys had it. Or what's the but he's small, right? I think he's
I'm the executive director of the Patriot Fund. Thank you for coming tonight. We're gonna do something really quick here. Not really, I don't want to say quick, but we're gonna recognize something. We're gonna honor a tradition. And I'm an Air Force veteran, so I can't do this next tradition any justice. But what we would like to do is we're going to recognize the 246th birthday of our United States Marine Corps. And with us tonight, we have, I don't think oldest is the proper term. I would say we have the most experienced United States Marine Corps person. We have the youngest United States Marine Corps person. And I would like to bring Jason up here to explain this a little bit because he'll do it much better than I will. So Jason, would you please come up here and explain what we're going to do? I know this is unannounced, but any Marine, any service member can do anything at any moment. Jason.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so tonight what this is about, this is the 246th Marine Corps birthday. The Marine Corps was founded in 1775. And each and every year, the Marine Corps is a little unique in that when it's the Marine Corps birthday, it's every Marine's birthday. And no matter where we're at, whether it's in a beautiful country club like Tiburon, or we're in some far off distant land, we take time out today, November 10th, and celebrate. So what we're referring to is the first piece of cake will be cut, and it'll be provided from the oldest Marine to the youngest Marine in attendance as a symbol of passing on the knowledge and the spirit of the Corps from the oldest generation to the youngest. So that's our ceremony. That's our celebration.
All right, so we're gonna get this beautiful cake cut, and then the cake will go to the back room where the food is, and then at your leisure, you can go back there and receive a piece. But in the tradition, the strong tradition of the United States Marine Corps, and for the people that keep us safe, happy birthday, United States Marine Corps.
You announced the oldest Terry Ball. Terry!
Our oldest Marine is Captain Jerry Falk.
Terry!
Hey folks, so is everybody having a good time? How about that band? Powerhouse. Had a few head injuries, so apologize. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have a great time. We want you to have fun. We want you to bid. We want you to have fun. We want to serve you drinks. We have served you a very good meal. I finally was able to eat at an event, and I think the meal was incredible. So hats off to our Tiburon staff for producing such a beautiful meal tonight. At this time, I would like to introduce one of my good friends. I would say an individual that if it was not for the actions he took and his team, I would not be here today. And I don't take light of that. I take that as you have to surround yourself with good people. If you have drama in your life, get rid of it. If you have people that are not good in your life, get rid of them. But this man and his organization supported an effort that me and a few teammates decided to take on. This man and his family took me in as his family, and that's the reason why I'm here. So I would like to introduce to you my friend, my teammate, Mr. Todd Sherman, President of the Patriot Fund.
Wow. How do you get over that? You have to forgive me. I did take notes because I was asked to speak on behalf of a few different points here this evening. But what an event this is, folks. I am so honored to be here today representing the Patriot Fund at this great venue with these great people. I've had the opportunity to meet many of you. I hope those of you that I haven't met yet, you reach out to me. You have an opportunity to meet me as time goes on. But we are making a real difference in the lives of our veteran community. So before I even get started, I just want to stop for a moment and thank our veterans. The mission of the Patriot Fund is rather simple. It's to match those veterans in need with those patriots who can make a financial difference. There are a lot of different charities out there. And as a matter of fact, there are 40,000 veteran organizations, nonprofits, in the United States today, many of which have very noble causes. But my personal mission was to make a difference in the lives of our veterans today. Not necessarily in the future, but when I hear the stories of 22 veterans today committing suicide, or those that do not commit suicide and have the issues at home and how that impacts on their family and generations to come, I felt personally moved and motivated to make that difference. Thus, the birth of the Patriot Fund. Coming into this year, in just 5 events that we had in New Jersey, we successfully raised over $1.2 million, ultimately going to our veteran organizations. I thank you for that. But we just had our event 3 weeks ago. Pam and Joe were there with us, and we successfully raised this year $605,000. I'm not saying that for bragging rights. Many of you are here because of personal invite from Joe and Pam. And if you know Pam, she's slightly competitive. Pam said, you can't stand up to what I'm going to do. So folks, she laid the gauntlet, and she said that her friends and her associates and what we are going to rally together here tonight is going to beat my event up in New Jersey. So I hope you do. You didn't think I was going to let that go, Pam, did you? I want to stop for a moment, and this is very personal to me. Everybody that did not serve in the services, I wish for you to stand now, please. Those of you that did not serve. Now, many of us have attended events in the past, and they always ask the veterans to stand and be acknowledged. Will and I sat in front of an organization near us whose president is here today, Lieutenant Colonel Carol Barkalow, wherever you are. We sat before her. Wanting to understand what Heaven on Earth for Veterans is, which is ultimately an organization that is dedicated to meeting the housing needs of homeless veterans, which is just a terrible concept in its own self. But out of her own pocket and that of her partner, they bought homes and they put up veterans and get them on their feet, a new start or a fresh start. And the first thing that she said, she and her partner, who was sitting before us, said, they look at Will and they said, thank you for your service. And they look at me and said, thank you for your service. Well, my immediate response is, well, I didn't serve. Her immediate response was, you are now. Folks, those of you who are standing right now are serving today. And you're serving those that are sitting right now. So those of you that are sitting, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the service, for the price, and for being here with us. So thank you. You can sit back down. With that, it's a great honor today to introduce our VIP presenter, Brigadier General Dyer. He's a 1972 graduate of the Army Military Academy at West Point. He had an illustrious 29-year career with tours that would exhaust most people. And I was told I only had a minute left, so I can't go through all of that. But most importantly, he sits as a special advisor to Home Base, a local operational partner of ours who aids veterans, service members, and their families through world-class clinical care, wellness, education, and research. With that, it is my proud honor to introduce Brigadier General Ed Dyer.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you all for being here tonight to help begin the celebration of Veterans Day for this year, to help honor those who have stood up to serve this great country. You know, when these young men and women stand up and raise their right hand, They write a check. It's made out to the citizens of the United States. And in the line where it says amount, they write "my life." Now, they don't know if that check is ever going to get cashed, but they understand that the value of freedom is worth that investment. And they also understand, or at least they trust, that when they come home to their communities, those citizens of the United States will be there to help them transition back into their communities. For some, that transition takes a few weeks or months, but for others, it can be a lifetime battle. Over 70% of those who have served in combat suffer from the invisible wounds of war: post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, depression, anxiety, and other associated issues. And that's where home base comes in. To back up for just a minute, in 2007, the Boston Red Sox won the World Series. They made their obligatory trip to Washington to visit with the president, have their picture taken, but they also took the time to go over to Walter Reed and visit with some of the veterans of the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts. They intended to spend an hour or two there. They ended up spending all day. And at the end of that, they went to the leadership at Walter Reed and asked, what can we do to help? And the leadership at Walter Reed said, we really need help in the mental health arena. So they went back to Massachusetts General Hospital, one of the leading hospitals, brain institutions in the country and probably in the world, and asked if they would come in with them, and they were more than happy to do so. So the program Home Base began in 2009. The centerpiece of the program is a 2-week intensive clinical program conducted at our world-class clinic in Boston, but it services veterans from all 50 states and several countries around the world. During that 2 weeks, they're not inpatients, but they are housed in a hotel adjacent to the clinic. They receive 10 to 12 hours a day of both individual and group therapy. And it's a program that can really get at healing the invisible wounds. Instead of a veteran who visits the VA for a day or an hour, a month, and then goes back home to where all the pressures are. So it's a tremendous program. Since its inception in 2009, Home Base has serviced over 25,000 veterans. So in 2014, we started a program here in Southwest Florida, an offshoot of Home Base. We started with a program focused on health and wellness. And we set up a model of bringing in veterans who were transitioning back into the civilian world, who needed help because they had challenges maintaining their physical wellness, their fitness, based on the pressures that they have, finding a job, reestablishing a home, and their families. That model has been adopted now by Boston and is used several places around the country. But there's still more work to do. There's a very sobering statistic. 100,000 veterans have taken their lives since 9/11. That's more than 10 times the number of casualties, fatalities in the two conflicts put together. So in 2017, Home Base, in conjunction with a program called TAPS, started a program to help the families of the fallen. So to date, we have serviced over 80 families of the fallen through that program. In 2019, we expanded our program here in Southwest Florida to begin our own outpatient clinic in Bonita Springs in conjunction with Lee Health. And since that program started in 2019, we've seen over 100 local veterans in our outpatient clinic. And I'm happy to announce tonight that starting this month, we are starting a second clinic in conjunction with the David Lawrence Center right here in Collier County. As Todd put it so well, it's those of you out here tonight who are the silent heroes to those who have received the help from Home Base. Without you, they would not have the opportunity to put their lives back together. Let me give you a couple of examples. Forgive me because I have to read these. The first is a Marine Corps veteran lives here in the Naples area. Multiple combat tours. He's a husband and a father. He attended our Warrior Health and Fitness program. He attended our outpatient clinic, and he also attended the intensive clinical program in Boston. He recently told our program director, Armando Hernandez, quote, "The care provided by home base helped me regain control. It saved my marriage and possibly my life." We hear that a lot. We feel like we're saving lives every day, and I think we are. The second one is an email that we received recently from a spouse here in the local area, and I'll read it to you. "I just want to tell you guys how much you have helped me. My husband got stationed in Korea for 12 months last year. I came home to Southwest Florida with our kids to be close to family. I saw someone share something about home base on Facebook one day, and so I called. The very next day, I was scheduled to set up an appointment with a therapist. But after 10 years of him being in the military, this separation has been the best one, because I was able to get the help I needed and to talk to someone. I got the resources I needed to process being apart for 12 months. Now more than ever, I understand why they teach soldiers to be resilient. So for all of us at home base, thanks to all of you for being here tonight. You know, heroes come in many different colors. And to those people who get the help from home base, you are their silent heroes. So I hope you have a great time tonight and a great time tomorrow afternoon and in the golf tournament. Thanks very much for having us out here.
General Dyer, it goes without saying that the Patriot Fund, Todd Sherman's hero team, will always be here to support you. We love the work you do. We love the work all our beneficiaries and all our operational partners do. But this is local. This hits home. This is our home. So thank you for what you do. Yeah, this time I'm going to introduce what was and still today a hero of mine, a colleague, a friend, and a patriot. Kenny Thomas. Probably saw a little bit about his bio. I'm not going to go through his bio because he does it much better. But Kenny Thomas is a former Ranger. A former Ranger that fought in the Battle of Mogadishu. You've all probably seen the movie Black Hawk Down. But that's not what Kenny Thomas is. Kenny Thomas is Kenny Thomas because who he is, what he does, and how he supports it. When that battle was going down, I was in the U.S. Army Special Operations Dive School down in Key West at the time. And there were many teammates, many individuals going through that school at the time that had friends in the fight. And we paused that day, we paused training that day so that we could learn, listen of what that battle was and how it affected us as special operators. I later got to meet Kenny through an organization I was working with because he would come in and motivate and talk about stories of the fallen. And when I found out about his philanthropic side and how he helps and how he supports veteran nonprofits, man, I was immediately teamed up with him. To the point that 2 years ago, well, actually 3 years ago, I noticed a change in Kenny. I noticed that, man, Kenny's not himself anymore. And all of us reach that point. All of us come to the point where we need help. And man, I fought Kenny on this as a colleague and as a friend. And Kenny got the help he needed. Kenny helped me with the help I needed. And man, now Kenny has been such a strong supporter of ours. He has got a wonderful story. Listen to it. He is an incredible entertainer. Listen to it. And then at the end of his show, and his speech, and his motivation, man, we're going to ask you to give. So gives me great pleasure, man, to introduce my friend, Kenny Thomas.
Hey, thank you. All right. All right, good evening. Before I get going, I just want you to know I'm a little different than what you meant. Like, when Will calls you up and says, hey, I need you to do something for me, there really is only one answer, and it's yes. And I got to tell you, this is way beyond what I thought he was capable of doing. This is fantastic. So, thank you, Will, for asking me to be here. And everything he said, it's true. It's the length that you go to for each other, and I think what I'm going to do tonight with the story is that's what I'm going to talk about, the length that we will all go to if the reason's strong enough. If your reason's strong enough and you believe you're part of the solution, I think everybody will step up. And if the reason is the people on your left and your right and they mean something to you, then you'll step up. So I think that's what I'm doing. I want to make sure that you guys know I'm a little different than what you might be used to, because I tell this story and I get lost in this story, but I do know how to tell it. I've learned, and I've learned to make some points. So the points that I think I'm going to make tonight are some very basic things that they teach us in the special operations world. And so the good thing is I don't have any PowerPoint presentations. It's not like if I had been in the Air Force, I would have brought PowerPoint presentations with me. But it's an Army, man. We have a budget. And so I've learned how to tell this story and make a point. And I think tonight what I want to talk about is the Ranger motto is Rangers lead the way. And they never told you that was a rank. They never told you that's a title. And they certainly didn't tell you it was a pay grade. They made it very clear from the moment you walked into the regiment, your job, leadership is the example we set for the people we serve. And everybody out here in this yard tonight, serves somebody. So what I hope you get from this, you don't get out of it what you want to get out of it. It's like going to church. But what I hope you get from it is when I'm done talking, you think, okay, Kenny was right. Who am I serving? Who are the people on my left and my right? Is it my family today? Is it my coworkers or my employees? Is it my community, my church, my school? Who is it that I'm serving? Who are the people on my left and right? And what example am I setting? And then I'm going to throw this one at you. When we need you is when it's hard. I don't need you when it's easy. I can handle it myself. But when it's hard, I need people to step up and help. And that's when we need you. And that's pulling you out of your comfort zone. But once again, if the cause is great enough to you, you will step into the fray. And so I'm going to use this story to kind of explain that one to you. So the story, Mogadishu, it's no different than anything that your grandpas would have told us from World War II. My good friend Brad, his dad was in Korea. My dad was in Vietnam. He's over there. All my friends that have been to Afghanistan, everybody that's been to the sandbox and back. If we make it home and you make it out of somewhere other people didn't, you will spend the rest of your life thanking the folks who were on your left and your right, because by the grace of God, that's the only reason I know that I'm still around. It's because of those men that he put there. And the stories are always the same. The battles may have been different, the uniforms are different, and the time was different, but it's always about, man, you should have seen what she did. Man, you should have seen what he did. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. It's never about ourselves. And we go to great lengths to try and unshoulder any kind of recognition that we may get. It's always about the other folks. And our story's no different. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my guys. The 3rd of October in '93, we had been in Mogadishu for almost 3 months. And if you're familiar at all with the story, we were after a guy named Adid. Adid was a bad guy. He was a warlord. And come here. Lay down. Lay down. And he'd been attacking the United Nations food shipments. Food meant power. And he started attacking American troops. And when he started attacking American troops, we were sent in as a special operations package to go get this guy. He knew we were there, and it wasn't easy because he went into hiding. In a city that is the size of Miami and bigger, He knew we were there, and it's not easy to come find one person in a city when they're hiding. We had run 44 raids. We'd only been in country for about 2 months, and we had run 44 raids into the city already trying to get this guy. If we couldn't get him, we had a most wanted list. So there was this kind of like the higher echelon of his lieutenants. And we were making some progress, but it was really slow, and it wasn't going as fast as we wanted it to. So finally on a Sunday, which is the 3rd of October, I said, y'all take a day off. Do whatever it is you do. And guys are out playing volleyball. I was writing a letter home to my mom. My mom still has the front end of the letter, and I was totally lying to her, because if you read it, I never finished the letter, but it started out, I said, "Dear Mom, you would love it here in sunny Mogadishu. It looks just like Fort Lauderdale. Like, yo, don't tell Mom what's going on." They were throwing mortar rounds at you every other day because they didn't want us there. We weren't part of the peacekeeping force. We were kicking indoors, and I don't blame them for not wanting us there. We're all hanging out. The guy walks out of the airplane hangar, we were all kind of out in the courtyard, and he walks out of the hangar and he says, "Hey, everybody get it on, gear up." And it meant fire, just like firefighters and police officers. So you drop what you're doing, you go hustling in, everybody throws on their gear, and you can imagine all over the bay, everybody's throwing on gear, they're all calling out equipment. And just to give you an idea, for those of you, because there's a lot of people that stood up that have not served, so just to give you an idea what basic equipment is. So everybody's got a job to do, and then on top of that basic job, you have specialized jobs. So just to give you an idea, so I weigh 165 pounds. I haven't changed. You have your basic body armor and all your issued kit, which is about 35 pounds to start. And then they start adding things to it. So what I had my rifle, I had a shotgun that was this old Remington that I had sawed off. I had it on my hip. We used it for like blowing locks off of doors. I'm not really even sure why I just told you. It's a good tip, I guess. If you get locked out, shotgun will get you back in the house, I promise. So I had that, and then I had this old Vietnam era rocket launcher thing called the light anti-tank weapon, and I hated carrying it. Well, first of all, it wasn't light, and all I'm trying to do is figure out how to lose gear. And I remember going to my platoon sergeant, I was like, "Sergeant Watson, why do I got to carry this thing? They don't have any tanks." And to this day, the answer he gave me stuck. He goes, "Sergeant Thomas, it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. I might need it, but I'm not carrying it, so you will." Roger that, Sergeant. So we're all getting geared up. And now I want to introduce you to my squad real quick. A squad in the special operations community, it should normally be about 10 to 12 guys. 10 to 12 men or women, operators. The Ranger, almost all of your soft units out there that we're here tonight amongst us will tell you we're shorthanded. They're difficult units to get to, and they're difficult units to stay in because they're just taxing. And so we're always shorthanded. My squad was only 5 guys, and this is the story about all 5 guys. So Doug was the squad leader. So Doug was 6 feet tall. He looked the part. If you said Army Ranger, you would think Doug. He was an college level athlete and just quiet professional. He was the squad leader. Doug and I were the exact same rank. I don't know how come he got to be the squad. I went to my platoon sergeant about that. I went to Sergeant Watson. How come Sergeant Bourne gets to be the squad leader? Why am I not a squad leader? And to this day, Sergeant Watson's answer stuck. Apparently, he says to me, he's from Texas. They outrank us. So who knew? So the squad leaders go into the briefing, and they're going to go get the mission statement. And then I'm getting all my guys lined up and getting them ready. So here's my 3 guys that were in my team. My most senior guy was Melvin DeJesus. DeJesus was a little guy, tough, street hard kid from Puerto Rico, raised in the hood. You couldn't show him anything because he was tough guy. And all y'all know tough guy. I remember the first time I ever worked with DeJesus, they were teaching us this block of instruction. They're like, "Man, this is the Carl Gustav rocket launcher. This thing can penetrate 6 inches of armored steel, has an effective range of over 800 meters. Are there any questions?" DeJesus, they were like, "Nah, man. In Puerto Rico, everybody had a rocket launcher." All right, so be glad he was on our side. So he was that guy. Like, the only reason he was in the Army was that was the option that the judge gave him. And my middle guy was Eric. Eric Saransky was a good, solid kid. He hadn't been here. DeJesus had been through Ranger School, so he had earned that Ranger tab. Ranger School is it's a 3-month-long suckfest. Really, they just teach you how to lead people when they don't want to be led. And when do we not want to be led? When we're tired, we're hungry, we're cranky, they just teach you how to lead people in bad situations. Saransky hadn't gone to Ranger School yet, but we were fixing to send him. He's the kid you want on your side. If you were to hire somebody or you wanted somebody to date your daughter, it's Saransky, because you just gave him one block of instruction and he made it happen. He made us all look good. I wish that everybody they sent me was like Eric Saransky. But not everybody they send you is like Eric. Sometimes you get David Floyd. And David Floyd grew up in South Kakalaki, Carolina somewhere, and he did not look the part. He was 135 pounds, 5'11". I grew up in the South, so he's what we call a bless your heart. So when you see him coming, you're like, oh, bless your heart. And he was awkward. He was kind of, hey, Sergeant, how you doing? And he wasn't, I mean, I'd be selling him short. It's not fair to say, he's not a bad soldier. He was new. He's only been with us 6 months, so he didn't know anything, and you had to teach him everything. And as a young team leader, I thought set the example for others to follow meant performance. Watch how good I am. Watch how fast I can run the mile. Watch me shoot, move, and communicate better than you, and therefore I'm setting the example. Come on, Floyd, I've already shown you one time. Why aren't you getting this? And all I was doing was setting him up for failure, because I was so worried about making the team look good, I was trying to do it all myself. And I never gave David the opportunity to get out in front and screw things up. Because how do we learn? We fail. We fail. It's the first act in learning. Failure. Fall on our face. Oh, not going to do that again. And, like my wife, Heidi, gets upset with me because I stand there and I watch my little son, Jet, walk up to the electric socket. I'm like, watch this. Oh, you're not going to do that again, are you, buddy? Come here, I love you, and I hug him, but we learn by failing. And the guy who was failing the most in this moment was not David Floyd, it was Sergeant Thomas, because I needed to readjust the way I learned or taught him so that he could learn how to lead. And my platoon sergeant, Sergeant Watson, pulled me in one day and says, hey, Sergeant Thomas, as good as you are, you can't do it all. Because you need that young man. He's my most important asset. I said, how is that, Sergeant? He goes, he's your machine gunner. And if he's not the best machine gunner he can be, that means your squad's weak. If the squad is weak, my platoon is crippled. And I can't send us out on this mission with a crippled platoon. It's difficult enough as it is with everybody firing on all cylinders. Right now, we're as good as our weakest link, Sergeant Thomas, and you are my weakest link. As a type A overachiever, that was something that was very difficult for me to hear. You are my weakest link. Notice, though, what I did not do. It's David Floyd's fault. He's the one. And he's like, can you imagine if our leaders that we're watching on TV every day had just a little bit of that? Like, instead of pointing the finger and blaming others, they were like, roger that. Let me figure out what I got to do as a leadership challenge to get David ready. Because that's what you need. When the day comes and they say get it on, you got to look over to your right and know that you can trust this guy. Bless his heart, he's still a great machine gunner because I taught him. And I spent that time with him. Instead of looking at the deficiencies in our followers, quite often we have to look at the deficiencies in ourselves. And here we go. So I want to fast forward. We're all got our gear waiting. So Doug comes out of the briefing room and he's got a photograph, an aerial photograph of the building in downtown Mogadishu. There's a lot of operators out here in the audience tonight, and they will all tell you, I don't know how many third world countries you guys have flown over in your lifetime, but I'm just here to tell you that whether it's Baghdad, Mogadishu, Tikrit, Djibouti, Ramadi, Fallujah, I've been over them all. Buildings in the third world country where bad guys hang out all look like this. That's it. He just showed us an aerial photograph of a square, and he circles it with red ink. He goes, this is the corner, this is the target building right here, and this is the corner we're opening at. Are there any questions? And that was it. That's all we needed, though. We did the hard work in advance. So we have this thing, we try and keep it very simple so that we can all grasp these difficult concepts. But the way that we approached our training and our readiness was my mission, my people, myself. We put our mission and we put our people before ourselves. We have to keep ourselves at top levels, but why? Not for our benefit, but so that we can serve others and the mission better. The better we are, the better we can serve. And that's in our headspace. So we knew what we had to do. The mission was a daylight raid into this target building, this square in the middle of Mogadishu. There were some bad guys on our most wanted list that were in this building. And basically we get the 5 W's: who, what, why, when, and where. And you guys have read enough leadership books to know what's the most important of the 5 W's. Why? Why are we doing this? Hey, why are we going in the middle of the daytime? Because anybody out there want to take a guess at why we don't like going in the daytime? Well, that's a fancy word, exposure, for they can see you. That's right. And we know bad guys like to shoot at you. And with they're already been shooting at you in the past, it's likely they're going to do it again. So we prefer that they don't see us. That's why we try and go in the night, so that they don't see us. But they met in the middle of the day because they didn't think we would come in. And they honestly didn't think we would work on a Sunday. But here we go. We're going in the middle of the day. The way the mission goes down, little birds come in first. Little birds are that bubble, little helicopter. You've seen them. They had skids, and they're just gunships. They carry these big Gatling guns. But they were so maneuverable that the pilots could land on the roof and at the front door of the building. So we use that to our advantage, and we put benches on the skids. And then the Delta operators, which the Delta guys on this particular mission were just, think of like a SWAT team. So they're going to storm the building. So they're just sitting on the skids like this. And the pilot landed them right there on the rooftop, and they just step in, and they're inserted. So they're going to storm the building. Hopefully we can get these guys before they squirt out. Right behind them come the Rangers. We're in Blackhawks. Blackhawks are too big to land in the street, so we got to hover at all 4 corners of the building and rope in. So you got chalk 1, chalk 2, chalk 3, chalk 4. We're all going to pretend that that's north. We're coming in from the north. So I'm on bird 3. As we're coming in from the north, Sergeant Thomas, I'm looking towards the target building. Is going to be that way. So they're saying, hey, Sergeant Thomas, you're going to be in the door facing the building. You got 2 responsibilities in the door of the aircraft while we're still in the air. Your first responsibility is identify the target building and then concur with the crew chief. Scott Hargis was my crew chief. No problem. All I got to do is look for the building, circle with red ink. This is going to be perfect. Because we had night vision, and the night was easy. You just put on your night vision, someone's shining a laser at the target building. Like, there's the target right there. Thanks, Captain Obvious. In the middle of the day, I couldn't tell one from the other. I look at Scott, and I know we're getting close because Chief Wood, our pilot, I see Chief Wood's head's right about there. Chief Fuller's right here. I got 15 guys packed into the back of this SUV-sized vehicle. And I'm looking through the windshield. I'm like, how do they see where they're going? But you couldn't see any. It was total brownout. Dirt and dust and rotor wash is kicking everywhere. And I remember looking through the windshield, and I see the 2 pilots talking to each other. And I grabbed the headset because I'm like, well, Chief Wood knows where we're going. Stan always knows where the target building is. And I thought maybe I would hear him saying where the target. As I took the headset, this is what I heard him saying. Can you see anything? Negative. I can see squad. Siegler goes, what'd they say? And I was like, we're good. Like, don't tell them the pilots can't see where they're going. I don't know how Stan Wood did it, but when he flared the aircraft, I looked out and I'm like, okay, I could see the operators storming the building. I looked across the street. I could see bird number 1 coming to hover. I looked over here. I could see bird 2 was already got guys on the ropes. Bird 4, I can't see. They're behind me in the cloud. So I know we're right where we need to be. My second job is to deploy the ropes. So basically, they're called fast ropes. All the operators out here have done it. It's just a big 3-inch coiled 90-foot rope that hangs from a boom. And you just slide down it like a fireman going down a pole. It's a very effective way to get you to the ground quickly and expeditiously. And I used to tell my guys, hey, the rope is your friend. It's a tool. Use it. If you want to get to the ground really fast, don't use the rope. I don't care. But I need you to do your job when you get to the ground. So the reason I'm in charge of it is because I had gone to this course and I was rope master qualified. If you guys want to go home rope master qualified tonight, I could teach you that 3-day class in about a minute. Here's 90 feet of coil rope is attached to a boom. Make sure it's still attached to the boom, and then go like this. Go! And that's what everybody did. I'm the last guy out of the bird. As I reach for the rope, the other crew chief over here, Ned Norton, is pointing at his helmet, yelling at me. And I thought he had something important to say, but he was pointing at a sticker. He had this red, white, and blue sticker that said, "No fear." And that's what Ned's yelling at me. No fear! You can hear gunfire going off onto the ground, and it's hitting the helicopter already. And the last thing Ned heard me say was, "Screw you." Like, I remember I caught up with him days later in the chow hall. I was like, "Hey, Norton, what was up with that whole no fear thing, man?" "Oh, Sergeant Thomas, I thought that would motivate you guys." "Man, you flew away. Like, shut up. Like, don't be that guy. No fear, and then take off." Well, when the birds fly away, the whole thing kind of quiets down. You could hear sporadic gunfire coming in, and I know we're sitting here in this wonderful venue eating food and pretty lights and people and dancing and music, and for me to say, there are people shooting at us, it really wasn't that bad. I know that sounds off, but it wasn't that bad. And the reason it wasn't that bad was they were missing, which is exactly what you want to happen if people are shooting at you. And I had a very wise instructor tell me once, and I took it to heart. "Sergeant Thomas, if someone shoots at you and they miss, it's just like they never shot at you at all. So don't get all upset about it. Just do your job." All right. So stay calm. Delta wraps up the building. They bring about 24 people out of the building. 2 of the HVTs on our wanted list were in there, high-value targets. The trucks drive up. We throw all the bad guys on the trucks. The trucks drive away. I look at my watch. It was 15:30. We had only been on target from start to finish. From the moment they said, "Get it on," 30 minutes. We were in and we were out. And I'm watching the last vehicle drive down the street and turn away. And as the last truck turns away around the corner, that's when everything changed. And all the radios came alive. And because all of our radios were on the same frequency, and you could hear everybody say, "There's a Black Hawk going down." We all look up, and the call sign was Super 6-1. So all the helicopters they were 6 numbers. So 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5. 6-1's going down. It's Cliff Walcott. If I told you that was north, Cliff is going down over here to the northeast, and not very high up, a couple hundred feet. We all watched it happen. We all knew what was happening, and I can describe it exactly to you because you have felt the same emotion. It is a human emotion that doesn't change. It's when life hits you, and I know there's people here in the last 2 years that have gotten that phone call. "Hey, Dad's in the hospital and you need to get here tonight because he might not make it." Or, "God forbid something ever happened to my kids." Or, COVID hit this nation and we're all standing there saying the same thing. I can't believe this is happening. It is happening. I understand that that's a human emotion. I can't believe that's happening. And we take a second to gather our thoughts. But it is happening, y'all. Whether you want it to happen or not, life is going down. And when it does, the sooner that you can realize that it's happening to you, the sooner you can realize that it's happening to the people on your left and your right. And then you have a choice. And that choice is, who do you want to be in that moment? When the difficult situations are staring you in the face, who do you want to be in the moment? Notice that I do not come in here and strike a special operations pose or the NCO pose and say, "You need to do the right thing." Because if I asked all 300 people in this event tonight what the right thing is, I guarantee you I would get 300 different answers, slightly different. They'd be somewhat aligned, but they would be slightly different. Unless every single day you got up with your mates and you recited the Ranger Creed and you said something so much that you began to believe it. And that's how the brain works. We tell our brains things over and over and over and over again to the point where they begin to believe it. When you believe something, you'll live it. Which is why I implore please be careful what you tell yourself. Please be careful of the selling ourselves short. We're magnificent at selling ourselves short. But in that moment, who do you want to be? I don't believe people are cowards. I really don't. I think, especially Americans, I think in a pinch, we want to be a heroic lot. I believe we will step up if we believe we're part of the solution. The challenge is when people don't believe they're part of the solution, they start to backpedal. And it looks like this. Oh my gosh, there's a Black Hawk going down. Oh, I hope they're going to be okay. And then the only reason I can preach on this, y'all, is because I catch myself saying it. I do it. Man, somebody ought to do something about that. Yeah. Somebody ought to do something about that. And who do you think the somebody is? It's us. You know, last I checked, as great as this event is, there isn't a big reserve force out in the parking lot waiting to come in and bail out the Patriot Fund. It's us. And if we don't do something, then who will? Somebody else. Somebody. Oh, there's too much of that. Somebody needs to do something. Well, so somebody's got to pick up the slack. Fortunately, we knew exactly who we were and the people we wanted to be because everything we had done was about in service to others. And we had already planned out this type of scenario. It wasn't exact, but it was enough to start moving. We didn't have to have a bunch of emails and figure out, hey, what are we going to do next? We knew that if a helicopter has a crash landing in the city, it's a dangerous place, how will we help them? So basically what's going to happen is the mission has changed. The vehicles that just drove away with the prisoners are going to turn and reroute. They're going to meet us at the crash. It's only 5 blocks away. The 80 guys on target are now going to move 3 blocks east and then a left turn north. Doug and I are the last 2 guys to move, and I'm looking down the street, and I can see the lead element making the left turn. And I pick up, I'm like, Doug, I'm moving. And I pick up the go, and I look back, and Doug's not coming. And he's holding his neck. And Doug goes, man, I'm hit. Something caught Doug across the neck. He was bleeding pretty bad. Medic turns around, comes back to Doug. Sergeant Watson comes back and looks at Doug. They take him into this courtyard. About a minute later, Sergeant Watson walks out and says, hey, Bourne's been hit. We're sending him out. And he hands me the radio and goes, you're in charge. And I know I had that look on my face, like right now, I'm in charge. And you know what I did? I stalled. And it looked like it was like, you know, I was asking a bunch of questions that didn't need to be asked right then. Well, what's wrong with Doug? Is he going to be okay? How are we going to get him out of here, Sergeant? Where's he going? Why is the medic taking him down there? And Sergeant Watson's just looking at me. Sergeant Thomas, take a breath. And he let go of the radio and he says, you're in charge. And you know what he did? He moved on down the road. He didn't have to stop and turn around and come back and go, okay, Kenny, I know that we're asking you to do something that you're not comfortable with, and we're going to give you a participation ribbon. You're going to feel really good about yourself, and come on, buddy, you can do this. Like, he already knew what I was going to do because he had taught me. I look at my 3 guys. I'm like, all right, guys, that makes me the squad leader. De Jesus, you're now the team leader. And De Jesus, you know, of course, everyone in Puerto Rico was a team leader. Follow me! You know, like he's off down the road. All right, go that guy. When we turned the corner, we were the last guys around that. And the volume of gunfire by that point was over the top. And they told us in retrospect that we were outnumbered at that point 10-1. I never saw 10 guys charging, but I did see twosies and threesies everywhere. Rooftops, behind the walls. We couldn't get the pilot's body out of the crash. The Kevlar had collapsed around him. So Chief Wood, Bull Briley and Cliff Walcott both died on impact. The 4 guys in the back of the bird, 2 Delta Force snipers and 2 crew chiefs, survived the crash. We got there in time to save those 2 guys, but we couldn't get the bodies of the pilots out. And Cliff's body was crushed in there. So it's going to take a minute. So we got guys in positions. This is when I saw people do things, and it's taken me 23 minutes to get to this point where I want to tell you some stories of heroic heroic in the true sense of the word. And every person that's worn the uniform out there will nod their head silently, and I'm not bashing anybody, but we throw around the word hero a lot. We throw it around when and I know what I've seen. And I wished I had a night where I could just sit and tell you stories about what these guys did. There were Air Force PJs, there were young Army Rangers, there were seasoned Delta Force commandos. We're all fighting in the streets, outnumbered. The helicopter pilots circling over, and it got dark, and so we just kicked in some doors, and we occupied those buildings. And by this time, out of the 135 guys that are fighting, 78 men are wounded by now. By the time it got dark, 19 are dead. We couldn't, even if we had gotten Cliff's body out, we couldn't move everybody out. All we could do is wait for our buddies to keep coming for us. Remember the vehicles I told you had driven away? They never got to us. And here's something, you can write this one down. You know how we always put those super cool motivating posters on our walls? It's like people rowing, and it says, teamwork. I'm like, here's one for you. The enemy gets a vote. Put that up on your wall and ask somebody what it means. Look, y'all, I don't know what your enemy is out there. I don't know whether, I know my dad's, it's the Democratic Party, but he's in a full-on fight. But whatever your enemy is, sometimes it's just circumstances. Sometimes it's restrictions. Sometimes it's funding. Sometimes it's crazy clients. Sometimes it's life. But whatever that enemy is, it's going to try and derail your best laid plans. And that's what was happening. The guys out in the streets were getting hammered because bin Laden had taught them, if you can take a helicopter down, the Americans will run to the helicopter, and then you can collapse the city around it. The one story that I want to take time with, and I think it will illustrate the why and the links that guys like Will and myself will go to for each other, and why we still have a lifetime of commitment to one another. When 6-1 was shot down, immediately another helicopter has to come into the pattern to cover for 6-1. So call that crash site 1. The 100 of us are all over there fighting at crash site 1. Immediately Mike Durant gets called in. Super 6-4, you're in the pattern. Mike Durant brings his bird into the pattern to cover for us. He makes 3 orbits, so maybe 10 or 12 minutes in the pattern, and he gets hit with a rocket. And he crash lands 8 blocks away, less than a mile, right over there. There's nobody left to get to him. Nobody left to get to him. Except the other bird that saw it happen, 6-2, flies over there. And on board Super 6-2 are 3 Delta Force snipers. Gary Gordon, Randy Shugart, Brad Holling. They make a plan. They see what's happened. Miraculously, all 4 men survive the crash because the bird pancakes, it doesn't roll. All of them survive. Durant's back is broken. Ray Frank is knocked unconscious. The 2 crew chiefs are you can see them if you watch the video replay, you can see the 2 of them back there wobbling around. And then you can see 200 armed militia running for that crash. Gary Gordon, Randy Shugart, and Brad Hollings make a quick plan. All right, we can hold the crash until help gets here. It should be here any minute. So they call it in. Hey, we're moving into the crash site 2. Denied. And then the pilot gets on. Hey, I say again, all 4 crew members alive. There's bad guys moving in. We've got 3 operators. They're going to go in right now. We're going to set them in. Denied. We can't risk it. Gary Gordon gets on the radio, and he says, let me speak to the actual. Means he don't want to speak to anybody but the man. So General Garrison comes on and says, Gary, do you know what you're asking? And the last words anyone ever heard Gary Gordon say were, sir, we're their only hope. I promise Gary Gordon didn't even know that man's name. But he knew what his purpose in life was, and it was in the service of others. So they were cleared. Just as they sat down and the 3 of them are going to move, the crew chief gets shot on the big machine gun, the Gatling gun, the minigun. Brad Holling immediately jumps on the gun and says, "Go, I'll cover you." So Gary Gordon and Randy Shugart take off running, and Brad's trying to hold the crowd back with his big machine gun. The bird takes up. They stay on station for almost an hour. And then they take a rocket. The rocket actually takes Brad's leg right off. Gary Gordon and Randy Shugart are on their own. They methodically tried to hold off all 200 enemy until the crowd just rushed. And then they one by one, they couldn't do it anymore. They ran out of ammo, and the whole crew was overrun. Mike Durant lived through it. And if you ask Mike Durant to this day, he will tell you, by the grace of God, the only reason I'm still here is because of those two men. Gary Gordon and Randy Shugart, one of them pulled Mike out of the cockpit and pulled him over to a corner where the mob didn't see him. And all those images that you remember of bodies being dragged through the streets, that was the first group of people that drug off the crew. The second group found Mike and they took him captive, but we got him back 11 days later. Gary Gordon and Randy Shugart were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, and it's the only time in the history of that citation where two men, if you read it, it's the exact same write-up. If I tell you it's a privilege and an honor to tell their story, I mean it. I mean it from the bottom of my heart, because if I don't tell their story, who gets to? This thing right here is a responsibility to me. If you could ask Randy or Gary the why, I promise you what they would say. It's the same thing that you would hear from any veteran that has ever served, that is sitting here, and any veteran that you know. I don't care how far back you go. Go back to Gettysburg if you want. Both those boys on both sides of the line will tell you the same thing. No one will tell you I was fighting for slavery or states' rights. I was fighting for the preservation of a union. No one will tell you they were fighting at the Battle of the Bulge because of the atrocities that Hitler did against the Jewish people. No one will tell you that we were fighting against Viet Cong and the spread of communism. No one will tell you we're fighting ISIS, Al-Qaeda, or Sunni clan fires, or the spread of global terrorism. The only thing that we were fighting for, the only thing, was each other. That's it. It is so basic. And for those of us who have had it, now I'm going to get to my buddy Scott Zastro, who spends so much tireless time working through this paperwork of the VA, making sure that guys like me do it right. The only thing you're fighting for is each other. It's so simple. And when you've had something that's that basic, it's a human connection, which is trust. It's not an easy thing to get. Trust isn't issued. It's why if Will picks up the phone, my answer is yes before he even asks. It's why if you go to our VA right now, it's epidemic, the diagnosis of post-traumatic stress. Hell, y'all, I'm one of them. And it's not, they don't just hand it out willy-nilly. You got to do a bunch of interviews with psychs. You know, yeah, Kenny's got something. I'm not really sure what it is. We're going to call it post-traumatic stress. Here you go. You got that. If you go back and do even more math, you will find that 80-something% of the people diagnosed with post-traumatic stress never saw combat. So clearly it's not something we saw on the battlefield that is the problem. Scott and Will and myself can handle what we saw on the battlefield. Train for it. The problem and the challenge was when you came home and all of a sudden you're not surrounded by your left and your right anymore. You don't have it, the absolute. You try to find it. And I went through relationship after relationship. Couldn't find it. Wouldn't let it happen. And that's right about the time when Will picked me up off my ass. Can you imagine if we had just a little bit more of Gary Gordon and Randy Shugart in our hearts and in our communities and in our families and our school systems and in our government? We're their only hope. Almost step in. These guys were super soldiers. It wasn't about upping their draft status at the next free agent draft. It was so that they could be better to serve others. We just had a little bit more of that. And the thing of it is, You have it in you. All those people that stood up that never served, you've got it in you. I don't know how big of a check you're going to write, but I know that you have gifts that affect lives every day. Who's on your left? Who's on your right? You got to get, and I don't even know if you guys are fans of the New Testament, but the reason I bring this one up, if you look in the book of Romans, it was written thousands of years ago, and it says, hey, you know, every one of you out here has a gift. Everybody's got something different. You got a gift to sing, you should sing. You got a gift to teach, you should teach. You got a gift to work with money, you should give generously, it says. And then my favorite one is at the bottom. It says, oh yeah, and if you've been given the responsibility of leadership, you should take that seriously and lead well. Now, who in this event tonight doesn't have the responsibility of setting an example for others to follow? That's a choice we make. And when we need you is when it's hard. You got it in you. You just got to make that choice. Every morning, across the globe, some ranger is standing there in formation and they're reciting the Ranger Creed. The first stanza says, recognizing I volunteered as a ranger, fully knowing the hazards of my chosen profession. Some days are going to suck. Some days are better than others. And if you say this creed over and over and over again, you begin to believe it and you begin to live it. I'm a specially selected and well-trained soldier. My country expects me to move further, faster, fight harder than any other soldier. Never shall I fail my comrades. Gallantly will I show the world. Energetically will I meet the enemies of my country. Readily will I display the intestinal fortitude. These are some of the things we say over and over again. It never leaves you. I don't know what you have to tell yourself every day. But if you need something great, I'm going to give it to you. It's the unofficial motto of our special operations community. It's on the walls of the Ranger Regiment. You go up to Fort Bragg. It's on the walls of Delta Force. You go over here to Tampa. It's on the walls of all the Air Force guys. You go up there to Virginia and California, and you meet the dudes with the Oakleys and the really cool hair and the tattoos of small sea mammals on their arms. They have it on there. You know, are there any Navy SEALs in you? Because you know when you meet a Navy SEAL, don't you? They'll tell you. That's right. It's right here. Right here, I was a Navy SEAL. That was for Jay, my buddy Jay. We all have it up. It's an Old Testament scripture. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 8. Isaiah 6:8 reads like this. I heard the voice of the Lord saying, who will go for us and whom shall we send? And so I answered, here am I. Lord, send me. And they should have called that the put me in coach scripture. I originally thought it had been written about a Roman soldier until I started reading about it. And I realized what they were talking about was, you got all these gifts to go use. Send me. It's a choice you got to make. I'll go do the hard work. It's going to be tough. Send me. If you're stuck on what your gift is, I will unstick you right now. Right. I do enough charity events to be able to say this, folks. Like, writing a check's easy. You will never feel bad about helping out. But when we go home tomorrow and the day starts and you're wondering, man, what are my talents? What are my gifts? I'm going to tell you the biggest gift you've been given on a day-to-day basis while you're still above this ground is the person that has been placed here and the person that has been placed here. Who are you leading? Who are you following? And what example are you setting for them? You ask yourself that and you will change lives. You will change lives. I'm going to play a song. All right. Hey, Alan, I'll probably need your help here, buddy. I'm going to sing a song. Okay. I haven't even played the song yet. Don't stop. The song I want to do for you is, music just has a song I want to do for you. Music's just got a way of reaching people. I don't know how it does it. I just know that it does, and I stopped trying to figure it out a long time ago. The first time that we got to play on the Opry, it was a Veterans Day weekend, and they asked us they were wanting all the artists who had served in the military to come and play on the Opry, and they called me up and they're like, "Hey, Kenny, do you want to play?" I'm like, "Absolutely, I want to play. What do you want me to do?" And they said, "Well, just play your hits." And I was like, "Well, that's plural. Like, what do you do if you only have one hit?" "Well, play that one." And then they said, "You can play one other song." This was the song that I played, and it ended up reacting, and then this was the one that pretty much put us on the map. And it's a story about 3 people. I can name every single one of these persons by name. I know them all. They all had to step up and do something. Not a single one of them wanted to do this, because when we need you is when it's hard, even when you'd rather say not me. And that's what this song's about. No one raised their hand that day when they asked for volunteers. He got picked out by default. He was the only daddy there. We know what you're thinking. Choose someone else instead. But this league was built on coaches. Stood right there and said, "Not me, not me. Away with this job of mine. I can never find the time. Not me, not me. But the world becomes a better place when someone stands and leads the way, steps forward when they'd rather say not me." Says you're the oldest, makes you the legal guardian. Sorry how you lost your folks, but there's no next of kin. Brother and a sister, she knew how hard it's gonna be, but she softly said, "I'll raise them," while the voice inside her screamed, "Not me. Not me. I can't believe what's happening. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Not me. No, not me. But the world becomes a better place. Someone stands and leads the way, steps forward when they'd rather say not me." A young captain at attention, stopping on his chest. He recalls the battle while the final roll calls are read. Well, the finest soldiers, it was my privilege to lead. They deserve the medals, the men who died. Not me. Not me, not me. I just did what I was called to do. Do the same if it was you. Not me, Lord, no, it's not me. But the world becomes a better place. Someone stands and leads the way, steps forward when they'd rather say not me. Yeah, steps forward when they'd rather say not me. Not me. Hey, my name's Kenny Thomas. God bless you guys. Ready to lead the way.
Mr. Kenny Thomas, give it up for him. Come on.
Wow. Man, I wish I had a talent. Anything. Hey, so we got a couple special treats for you. So first, I'd like to thank the First Baptist Academy. The kids that are out here, they're going to be the spotters during the auction. So when you raise your paddle, they're going to run over to you and get your number so we can get your information recorded and make sure that we recognize you properly. We're going to get on with the live auction, but we got something really special. And Kenny's father's here. He's a veteran. Kenny's stepbrother is here. He's a veteran as well. Both of which we helped with, funds from the Patriot Fund. We helped them get to where they needed to be to help them take care of themselves and be healthy and be supportive and, be able to talk to people like you. So we're going to bring Mike Ziegler up here. Goes by Ziggy. He's one of our favorite people. And we got this. We got this lithograph, and I think I'm going to give Kenny the honor to explain it, and then we're going to start our auction off with this. We got a young lady that's going to come up and sing a special song after that. We're going to auction off one of our other fine pieces of art, and then we're going to get this party started. So I need you to come and support us. Bring it strong.
You look great.
All right, so this is a painting by a guy named Dietz. He was a famous, in the Ranger Regiment headquarter hallways, there are all these paintings of moments in Ranger history. And they never did one for Mogadishu. And the reason being is because we were such a small group that I think the commanders that came along just, they had their own battles to get paintings made of. And so I went to Dietz one day and I said, hey man, how come you didn't paint a painting? He's like, well, nobody hired me. Oh, you gotta be hired. So we hired him, and this is a depiction of the moment where the Delta guys and the Rangers, we blew the crash when we finally got Chief Walcott out, and we bailed in the morning. We started running out of the city. This is the 30 or so of us that made the run. It's called the Mogadishu Mile. And Dietz signed it, I signed it, and then I wanted to throw this. I was like, well, let's do something special. So when our first record came out, there's no more of them because the record label owned them all and they sold them, and then when I moved to a different record label, they stopped printing them. But this was actually on the shelf the first day at Walmart, Ziggy. And I went over there, I was like, dude, I'm buying it. And it's got, like, that song I just played, Emmylou Harris and Vince Gill sang on the record with me. So I had it in the closet, and I'm like, all right, I'll give him some music. There you go. So that's what you're getting. And I would also, I forgot to tell you. So I brought books. And my best part, the favorite part about signing the books for you is that I get to meet you. And if you have a second, come over and grab a book. And what we make on the books tonight, that's what we'll do. We'll go to the picture. Each day. All right, hit it.
How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, how we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, it's time. It's that time. It is energy time. It is money time. To support the Patriot Fund, this great foundation, these even better people, and my brother Kenny Thomas painted this wonderful picture. Guys, there's nothing else I can say. Let's start this party off. Let's make some money here. Let's start this party, this painting and everything off. I need $3,000. Anybody for $3,000 with painting here? Kenny Thomas is drawing this. $3,000. Anybody for $3,000? Thank you, 122. 3,500. 3,500. 41. Thank you, 40. For 41s, right? 44. Sorry, Reggie Jackson. I got you, man. No problem. 35. 4,000. Anybody for 4,000? 4,000. 3,500. Asking 4,000. 3,500. Asking 4,000 for this wonderful item that Mr. Kenny Thomas has taken his time and painted in that wonderful speech that he just talked to you all about being wonderful Americans. 3,500 asking 4,000, 3,500 asking 3,750, 3,500 asking 3,750, 3,500 going once, 3,500 going twice. Congratulations, Reggie Jackson, number 44. Will, do we have something else? Oh. Come on up, Tess. Okay. One of the Horror Sisters. Give it up for Tessa Orris.
You packed your bags and shut the door. You crossed the sea to fight a war. You didn't know just what would happen to you. Stepped in the dirt, boots on the ground. Gunfire was the only sound, and to yourself you whispered hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Every day and every night, you walk the walk, you'd fight the fight. Never saw an end in sight, now did ya? The days are washed in a haze of red, the blood, the mud, too many dead. Your weary soul was crying hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Too late to help, you hear a shot. You know you're in a deadly spot. Never thought this day would come, now did ya? Your brother falls down to the ground. The enemy is all around. From your lips you scream a hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You fought the fight till it was done. You have the strength to carry on. You never thought it'd be back home, now did ya? You try each day, you keep pushing through, but the battle is inside of you. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful, Tess. All right, guys. So the next item up for bids is this incredible, and I mean incredible with more than one exclamation point. Her sister, Heather. Where's Heather? Heather. Hi, Heather. 1 year ago. Yep, you owe me. Anyway. She painted this painting, and this is beyond words, if you could look at this. I mean, my brother Will Markham right here. I mean, Chappie, Bish right there. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, the hours, the effort, and the patriotism in this is beyond belief. Guys, we're gonna start this painting off at $4,000, and believe me, it is a bargain at that. $4,000 anybody, $4,000 anybody at all, $4,000, $122, thank you very much. $4,000, $4,500, ask $4,000, asking $4,500, anybody for $4,500 for this wonderful, wonderful painting. Guys, this is about as good as it gets. You have, I mean, this Revolutionary War, Vietnam War, you have everything covered. Unbelievable. Even looks like a stormtrooper there in the corner. It's $4,000 asking $4,500. Anybody for $4,500? $4,000 asking $4,500. $4,000 asking $4,500, guys. Again, the Patriot Fund, guys. This goes to the Patriots Fund. And they're about as solid as it gets. about as good a people as it gets, and we're supporting them on Veterans Day. And also the Marine Corps birthday. Where's my Marines? Where's my Marines? Thank you. I had to hear that. $4,500, asking $4,500. Anybody asking $4,500? $4,000, asking $4,500. $4,000 going once. $4,000 going twice. He's rooting me on over there. Congratulations, sold for $4,000. So guys, real quick, I want to thank our sponsors here tonight. Excuse me. Ken Hall, Broward Family Farms. Jennifer of the Lakefield Family Foundation. The Gustafson family. And Rich and Gail, I'm sorry. Amy, I can't read the last part of that, but you guys know who you are. Thank you again so much. So let's have some fun with some auction items. What do you guys say, huh? Yeah, let's raise some money. Come on, guys. This is for a great cause. My hand is injured, and Will said if I didn't do good, he's going to injure it again. So here we go, guys. Tom Dietz, why don't you come on up here? Guys, I want you guys to give a warm welcome for retired SEAL Team OIC, CO, everything, Tom Dietz from SEAL Team 5, Class 142. Retired commander. We got a pretty good package here for you guys. Come on up here, Tom, real quick. So, how many of you guys want to go skydiving? Anybody want to jump out of a plane? A perfectly good plane? You're damn right, because you're going to get a chance. So, anybody watch the World Series here lately? The game, I believe, game 5. Our good friend of the Patriot Fund and good friend of us, period, Nick White, who owns the Frog X Jump Team. Frog X Jump Team, guys, they're very good. They jump in all the sports games. So 2 of you is going to go to San Diego, California, and tandem jump with Nick White, who's also retired SEAL Team 5, and Tom was his boss. You're going to jump out of a plane, a good plane, and make a good landing, saying maybe, hopefully. And we're also going to add a few extra things here. I'm going to let Commander Tom Dietz talk about it. Give it up for Tom Dietz, ladies and gentlemen.
Siggy, thank you. And for Kenny, I just want to say I do have good hair. I have Oakleys, but it's nighttime, so I'm not wearing them. But I don't have any tattoos. I really am a Navy SEAL. But for those 2 that have a wonderful adrenaline-pumping jump with Nick's and his buddies, once you safely land on the ground, we'll meet during your visit to San Diego. And I really enjoy going down to Coronado. It's a beautiful oceanfront resort town in San Diego, and that's where Navy SEAL training takes place. And I mentor a lot of young SEALs. I still keep in touch with the active duty SEALs. And I'll go down there because it's really fun to watch. To watch the guys that 37 years ago I was on the beach with a boat on my head getting screamed at is really fun to watch 37 years later. So when I go down to do that, sometimes people show up in my back seat. And I might start talking to myself and explaining what's going on and show them a few things. It's not a tour by any means. They just happen to be in my back seat. So that might occur for the people that do the static line or the free fall jump with Nick's. And I'm also a member at the Farms Golf Club in Rancho Santa Fe, one of Phil Mickelson's home courses, a wonderful high-end golf club. And so for those of you that do come out, we can also host you for a round of golf at the Farms. Pretty good package.
Give it up to Tom Dietz, guys. This is going to be a good one. So let's get this again. You're going to jump out of a plane in San Diego with retired SEAL Team 5 member Nick White of the Frog X Jump Team. Then you're going to go play golf with retired Commander Tom Dietz at the Farms and go for a ride in his back seat to a park and get a tour of things. Sorry, guys. All right, guys, this is a great package. Let's start this off right. Start this off at $4,000. Anybody go to California? $4,000. Thank you. 86. That's it. 86. $4,500. Anybody for $4,500? $4,500. Anybody can see them paddles in the air. Paddles in the air. We got $4,000 asking $4,500. $4,000 asking $45,000. Thank you. 33. $4,500 asking $5,000. $4,500 asking $5,000. $45,000 asking $1, 2, 3, 4, $5,000 American dollars. for a wonderful time and to support the Patriot Fund. 4,500, asking for 5. Anybody? Come on, guys. Here we go. 4,500, asking for 5. You will jump out of a plane moving, land in Tom Dietz's backyard of his golf course, and you're going to jump in his car and go see things, get trained like, yeah, in a park. 4,500 asking for 5. 4,500 asking for 5,000. 4,500 asking for 5. Thank you very much, 86. $5,000. Here we go. Let's make some money. Make money, money, make money, money. 5,000 asking 5,500. Anybody? 5,000 asking 5,500. 5,000 asking 5,500. Come on, sir. That's it. 33. That's it, Larry Bird. 33. 5,500 asking 6. 5,500 asking for 6. Here we go. 5,500 asking for 6. Hey, Will, don't we have something else? Wait, we got something else. Hold on. What would be without going with the teams without a big old trident? Guys, there you go. This is a gorgeous wooden trident. Yeah. Yeah. 5,500 asking for 6. Who's going to give me 6,000? Come on, guys. 6,000. The trident's worth that. 5,500 asking for 6. 55. Okay, here, we'll hold it up a little bit. Sorry about that. That's got suntan, Oakley's, and really cool tats all over it, doesn't it, Commander? 5,500 asking for 6,000. 5,500 asking for 6. 5,500 asking for 6. 5,500 going once. 5,500 going twice. So those of you who don't know me, I like to make money, especially for wonderful organizations like this. And I've got more than one package, more than one jump package. We got one trident, but I've got more than one jump package. I'll send both of you. Somebody will match 5,500. I will send you 2. So the 2 of you can go. Come on, 86, match 30. Will you match 5,500? Oh, we got a match right there. Number 7. Guess what? Let's make some money. I'll do 3 of them. Come on, get them hands up. You want 6,000 for 2 people? Okay, 6,000. We got 6,000. That's pretty good. 6,000, you good? You guys good for 633? I'll send you 2 at 6.
We already bid.
He's at 55. He bid 6. Yep. Oh, you want to do 2? 2 packages? It's at 6,000? Or 2 people? You got it. I got you. So he's at 6,000. Will you guys match 6 so we can move this along? You got it?
He's asking if it's for 2 people.
Yes, sir. 2 people. You're good? Guys, we just made $12,000. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. All right, guys, here we go. All right, guys, I'm going to, Amy, can I have somebody please take this around? None other better than one of my brothers, one of my closest friends of all time, retired Chief Master Sergeant, Mr. William Markham. Give it up for Will. So Will is going to dance for us. Guys, this is very special. Actually, Sparky's going to take him around. Sparky is the best military golfer around, by the way. Ain't happening. He's the best. Guys, this is a priceless item. This is from the oldest living Medal of Honor recipient, Herschel Woody Williams. He was at Iwo Jima, as you saw in the picture. His picture is in front of, a minute after them raising the flag. He was a flamethrower. Can we go? And he is the oldest living Medal of Honor recipient. This is one of his knives. One of his knives. The blade is the metal is made from World War II. The sand and the wood and the handle from the beaches of Iwo Jima. And the brass is also from artillery shells from 1945. Very cool, very rare, and very special. It'll make a wonderful, wonderful conversation piece and a wonderful thing to pass down from generation to generation. Yes, sir. Yeah, Sparky says he'll give 18 holes with it too. There you go. Yeah, he's not going to complain about that. Guys, we're going to start this off at $4,000. $4,000 for this knife, guys. $4,000. $4,000. Thank you very much. What number's that in the back? 125. Thank you, sir. 125. 4,500. 4,000 asking 4,500. Come on, guys. This is a bargain. This is a steal. 4,500. Anybody for $4,500? 4,500. 4,000 asking 4,500. 4,500. 122. Thank you, sir. 5,000. Anybody for 5,000? 5,000. 5,000. Thank you, sir, in the back. 5,500. 5,500. 5,500. Really, really cool deal, guys. $5,500. 5,000 asking 55. 5,000 asking 5,500. 5,000 asking 55. 5,000 asking 55. Anybody? 5,500? 5,500? 5,500? Sparky's 18 holes is worth that. 5,000 asking 5,500. 5,000 going once. 5,000 going twice. Sold in the back with a beard. 5,000. Alrighty, this is fantastic. All right. All right. All right, guys. I know everybody in this town likes to drink wine. So we got a little bit bigger bottle here for you. Oh, okay. I can do it. I just don't want to drop it. Got your 6 Patriot Fun bottle of wine. It's really big. It's really big, guys. This is awesome. Fleury. Custom made. Custom made. What? Man, oh man. This would feed at least 4 people. All right, 8. All right, guys. Let's start this one here. $2,000. Anybody? $2,000 for this bottle of wine. $2,000. It's the cause. It's going to a tremendous cause, and this guarantee you will get a buzz on this. You will get a buzz on this one.
Fleury Winery is a winery that some of you have already purchased wine for this evening, but they only produce 4,000 bottles, and they are so passionate about the Patriot Fund that they created this bottle especially, the first inaugural Veterans Honor Invitational and Stars and Stripe dinner. It's unbelievable. So that's all I can say. It's a beautiful bottle in itself. And the wine, oh my God, it's fabulous.
There you go. I don't drink, guys, so I can't really tell you, but I'm sure it's really good. $2,000, anybody? 2,000, guys. Come on, $2,000, anybody? $2,000. Thank you very much. Does that say 32? 52. 52. See, I'm getting older. I can't see. Thank you very much. 52. We got $2,000 asking 2,500. 2,000 asking 25. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2,500. Anybody? $2,500 for this wonderful bottle of wine. We got $2,000. We're asking 25. 2,000 asking 25. 2,000 asking 25. I might give 25, so I don't have to hold this up anymore. 2,000 going once. 2,000. Oh, we got 2,500. Number 2. Thank you so much. 2,500 asking for 3. Asking for 3,000. Anybody asking for 3,000? Anybody? $3,000. 2,500 asking for 3. 1, 2, $3,000 to help the Patriot Fund. $3,000, guys. 3,000. Anybody in the back? Anybody? I saw somebody's hand go up back there. Anybody? 2,500 going once. 2,500 going twice. Congratulations, $2,500 sold. That's awesome, guys. All right, guys, we have a custom gun here. Let my man Felix here give you a talk about this 1911 Nighthawk. There you go. Thank you.
All right. This here's a 1911 Nighthawk custom pistol. It's called a Talon. 45 ACP. It's a high-end pistol made in Berryville, Arkansas. It comes with 2 mags, lifetime guarantee, and it is one pistol made by one gunsmith. Guy.
1911. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna start this off at $4,000, guys. $4,000 for this rare piece of. Thank you very much. 86 in the back. 4,000. 4,500. Anybody for 4,500? 4,500. Thank you. 51. 5,000. Anybody? $5,000. Thank you. Number 5. 5,000. 5,500. 5,500. 5,000 asking 5,500. 5,000 asking 5,500 for this 1911. Thank you, sir. 51. 5,500. 6,000. Anybody? $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. Thank you, sir. Number 5. 6,000. 6,500. Anybody for 6,500? $6,500. Yell if you sign, guys. Put your hand up, guys. I can't quite see you all. 6,500. Anybody? $6,500. 6,500. It comes with bullets too. You can. There you go. 51. 6,500. 7,000. 7,000. $7,000, guys. $7,000. 7,000. 6,500 asking 7. 6,500 asking 7. 6,500 going once. 6,500 going twice. Congratulations, sir. Sold $6,500. All right, guys. So we're gonna do a couple things here. We're gonna do the call to the heart. This is a paddle raise, guys. This is to give straight to the foundation. It's a straight donation. It goes right to the Patriot Fund to help these wonderful organizations from the Patriot Fund. So this is a call to the heart paddle raise. So we're gonna ask for some big donations, and we're gonna move right on down there. This is whatever you'd like to give. We're gonna start. I have any big donors of 10,000. Anybody would like to donate $10,000 to the Patriot Fund? 10,000. I have any $10,000 donors. $10,000 again, guys. This is helping veterans on Veterans Day. 10,000. Anybody for $10,000? How about some $5,000 hands? Anybody for 5,000? Thank you, number 28. Thank you, sir. 28. Anybody will match him. Come on, guys. Can't let him be the lone wolf. 28. Anybody else for 5,000? Anybody else for $5,000? Anybody else for $5,000? Anybody? Anybody? Thank you. Number 10. We got two $5,000. I appreciate that. Awesome. $5,000. Anybody else? We got number 139. What's up, Sherm? There you are. I was looking for you. What's up, man? You're usually up here. What happened? You've got demoted. One more. We got 3 so far, guys. One more that'll make $20,000 off the $5,000 bids. Anybody? Anybody? $5,000. Anybody? Last chance. Last chance. Alrighty. $2,500. Anybody for $2,500? $2,500. Thank you very much. Number 6. Number 47. $2,500. Keep them up, guys. 6 and 47. Thank you, number 4. Thank you, number 5. Anybody else? Anybody else? 2,500. Come on, guys. Get it up there. Hey, guys, also get it up for Pam Davis. She's chaired this event. She did a wonderful job out here. Yes, and Pam's a big supporter, too. Trust me. Anybody else for 2,500? Oh, there you go. Number 3. Thank you very much. Number 3. Number 3. Number 49. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. 49. What? Any more for 2,500? Any more for 2,500? Last chance. Anybody for 1,000? Anybody? Hold your hands up. $1,000. Last time. $1,000. Thank you, number 2. Thank you, number 29. Keep your paddles up, please. Thank you. 45. Thank you. Anybody else? 45. Number 8.
You guys spend $1,000 on dinner. Come on.
I don't want to make Pam mad. I got Pam and Amy both mad at me for something, so I... Anybody else? $1,000. Anybody? $1,000. Keep your paddles up. Thank you in the back. 136. Thank you so much. 136. Hands up. Hands up. I got it. 136. I got that one. Anybody else? $1,000. $1,000. Going once. Going twice. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Guys, again, the silent auction is going to close in about 30 minutes, right? All right, guys, we got 2 more items here. We got 2 tickets to a private show, right, Pam? We got 2 tickets to a private show with Jimmy Buffett, right here. Yeah, private show with Jimmy Buffett. Invitation only. This Wednesday, here at Tiburon. That's the only way you can get tickets. 2 tickets. Oh, parking's included. That's worth $5,000 itself. Good God. And I'll tell you, you know, dig up your coffee cans. All right, start this off at $3,000. Anybody? $3,000 from Jimmy Buffett tickets. 2 tickets to see Jimmy Buffett. 2 tickets. Thank you very much. Number 12. 2 tickets to see Jimmy Buffett. 2 tickets to see Jimmy Buffett. 12. 3,000 asking 3,500. 3,500. Anybody asking 3,500? 3,000 asking for 35. 3,000. 3,000 going once. 3,000 asking for 35. Yeah, I don't know that. The next one will, but this one here is 3,000. 3,000 going once. 3,000 going twice. Congratulations, going to Jimmy Buffett. All right, guys, last item for tonight. We got who's my Bon Jovi fans? Anybody like Bon Jovi here? Anybody like Bon Jovi here? Come on. All right, so as you all know, I'm a professional musician, and I played a lot with Tico Torres from Bon Jovi. And Tico is nice enough. Matter of fact, he played with us the last time he played up here. We're going to donate 2 tickets to see Bon Jovi any concert in the country when their schedule comes out in January. 2 tickets anywhere you want to go. Hotel is included. And you get to pick out. You'll get to go and have great seats at the show. You'll get to go backstage meet and greet with Tico, and he'll take you and meet the rest of the band, and you get to spend some time. Take all the pictures you want. He's an amazing guy, an amazing drummer, and he's a hell of a patriot. So there you go, guys. Bon Jovi, any concert you want to go to, have a great time. Hotel included. There you go. So we're going to start that off at $2,500. Anybody go to see Bon Jovi? 2 tickets for $2,500. Oh, here we go. 86, thank you. 3,000, anybody? 3,000 to go see Bon Jovi. 136, 3,500, keep them up. 3,500 to go see Bon Jovi. 3,000 asking 3,500. 3,000 asking 3,500. 3,000 asking 3,500 to go see Bon Jovi. 3,000 asking 3,500. That's a steal, guys. 3,000 asking 3,500. Go see Bon Jovi backstage, meet and greet. Yeah, it's great. It'll be a great show no matter wherever you go. 3,000 asking 3,500, guys. 3,000 going once. 3,000 going twice. If somebody matches $3,000, I'll send you 2. I have 4 tickets. I have 2 sets. Come on, guys, match 3,000. We got somebody to match it? No, she's got the 3,000. Anybody gonna match 3,000? In the back? Golf team, talk her into it. Lisa, talk her into it. 3,000 going once. 3,000 going twice. Congratulations, you're going to Bon Jovi. All right, this is... Pebble Beach, all right. Who wants to go play golf at Pebble Beach? Yep, yeah. Yep. Yeah. I didn't do it. Nice. So you get to go to Pebble Beach. You get to stay there for 3 nights, 4 days at Pebble Beach. You get to play all 3 courses. All 3 courses, and there's no blackout times except for both the tournaments there, the Champions Tour and the PGA Tour. So all 3 courses at Pebble Beach. You get to play there. You get to stay at the lodge there. You get to play all 3 courses. Believe me, it's well worth it. So we're going to start this one here off at $6,000, guys. This is a steal. 6,000. Thank you, number 50. 6,500. Anybody? 6,500. Thank you, 14. 7,000. Anybody for 7,000? Thank you, number 50. 7,500. 7,500. 14. Thank you very. You good? 7,500. Okay. Thank you very much. 8,000. Anybody? Thank you, number 50. 8,000. Let's go right to $9,000. 9,000. 14. Thank you. 10,000. Anybody? 10,000. Thank you, number 50. How about 11,000? Oh, look at Cheryl. 14. How about 12,000? We got number 50. Let's keep it going. How about 13,000? Number 14. How about 14 grand? Why not? You're gonna have to give it back in taxes anyway. Number 50. 15,000. Thank you, Cheryl. How about 16,000? How about 16? How about 16? We're 15, we're asking 16. It's Veterans Day. It's Veterans Day, and Will Markham's gonna sing a song. Oh, Pam just said, "Where's my husband, Joe?" he's like, he didn't even say anything, he just stuck his paddle up. 15, so we're at 15,000, anybody 15,000? You at 15, Joe? $16,000. All right, will somebody do 16? Thank you, Cheryl, 16,000. Hey, all right, how about 17,000? How about 17,000? Okay, thanks, Joe. Damn, Joe, I need to marry you, man. Where's Joe? Yeah, I'd be like, my girl would be like, where's Jennifer? She'd go home. All right, 18,000. Anybody? $18,000. Anybody for 18? 18,000. $18,000. All right. You want to do two? You want to do 2 of them for 17,000? How about 3 of them for 17,000 each? Come on, buddy. You gonna match that, number 50? 3 of them? It goes to the Patriot Fund. It's a good time, and I promise you'll have a great time. 4. 17 each. We got 3 of them at 17,000 each. Damn. Silverado. Last one. And Ziggy's got to go play music tonight. You're going to get to listen to this wonderful band, though. All right. Wait, we got the sky. All right, we got the skybox. Tampa Bay Lightning for 16 people. Food, I believe food and drink are included. Food and drink are included. 16 people at a Lightning game. 16 people in the skybox. A lot of great times, a lot of great laughs, a lot of great food, a lot of great whiskey, and a lot of great, yeah. So, what do you think is fair to start this off? $4,000, Cheryl? $4,000, Cheryl? $4,000, anybody? Thank you, number 14, $5,000. 4,000 asking 5, 4,000 asking 5,000, 4,000 asking 5, $4,000 asking 4,500. Let's try 4,500. Anybody for 4,500? We asked $4,000. We're asking for 45. 4,000 asking for 45. Thank you, number 42. 4,500 asking for 5. 4,500 asking for 5,000. 16 people at the Lightning Skybox. Okay. We got, how much we got? 5,000, number 12. Thank you. And we're adding transportation. So we're at 5,000. 5,000 asking for 5,500. 55, thank you. 122. 6,000. Anybody for 6,000? 6,000. 5,500 asking for 6. 5,500 asking for 6. 5,500 going once. There's 6,000. 6,500. 6,500. 6,000 going once. 6,000 asking for 6,500. 6,000 going once. 6,000 going twice. Sold $6,000. Thank you so much. Hey guys, it's been a real honor and a real pleasure.
Three-night stay, Silverado for 4, golf for 4, values over $8,000. So we're gonna start the bid at 5.
$5,000. Anybody go to Silverado? $5,000. Anybody to go to Silverado? Home of the, there you go, 123. Thank you very much, 123. 5,500. Anybody for 5,500? 5,500. Anybody for $5,500? 5,500. 5,000 asking 55. 5,000 asking 55. 5,000 asking 55. 5,000 going once. 5,000 going twice. Sold for 5,000. Guys, have a wonderful night. Give the Patriot Fund a round of applause. Give Tiburon a round of applause. You guys are going to hear a phenomenal band. I'm Mike Ziggy Ziegler. It's an honor and a privilege to represent the Patriot Fund and see all of you. Have a wonderful evening. All right, let's go!